We will do so in a manner which cannot be challenged, which cannot be protested, which someone can stand up and say that you have mentioned the beginning, the events, and the aftermath of Karbala from sources, from books that we have criticism, that we have protest, that we have some allegations, that we have some questions on its authenticity, on its veracity, on its truthfulness, on the correctness of its transmission. If we do, and we relay the events from such sources, by extension and by consequence, this means that the events of the 10th of Muharram and the Mashhad, the Maqtal, and the martyrdom of Imam Husayn and the Ahlul Bayt itself is placed under light of skepticism and doubt. And what I refer to are the books of Tariq and history and the words of Mu'arrikhin, which according to us and the Jumhur of Ahlul Sunnah, the books of history in themselves, they have their own method of transmission. A lot of the early Mu'arrikhin were also Muhaddithin, so they understood what narrations to take and what not to take. They understood which transmitters to take from and which transmitters to not take from. They understood from context and events which narrations are truthful and which are not truthful. Therefore, in our opinion, the words of the early historians are correct. However, since there are those who challenge and protest the words of Mu'arrikhin and the historians, we will not be recounting and relaying the events of the 10th of Muharram from the words of Mu'arrikhin and Kutub al-Tariq, the book of history, in order to establish without any doubt, with not an inkling of skepticism, the truthfulness, the certainty and the veracity of the events of Karbala, and the truthfulness, the justice, the honor, integrity of Imam Husayn's actions. We will be narrating the events of Karbala and the martyrdom of Imam Husayn and the Ahlul Bayt from none other but the blessed words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will have the humble privilege of relaying the journey of Imam Husayn, the events, the martyrdom, and then the return to Kufa and Dimashq from the most authentic, credible and reliable ahadith of the noble messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The natural question that can come in your mind, that can come in mine, is how did the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam recount and relay the events of Karbala? And the answer is, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as an-Nabiyul Mukhtar, the fundamental duty of a Nabi is to give tidings, to give news, to give akhbar of what has gone past in 1,000 years of civilizations and nations before. And the Nabi is there to give tidings, to give news and akhbar about thousands and thousands of years to come, all the way from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the day of judgment. So the prophets and messengers, they see from Nurun Nubuwwah, the light of Nubuwwah, what is to come from that day till the day of judgment. Naturally, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through divine decree and wahi, with his blessed eyes, was envisioning the falling of Aba Abdullah al-Husayn at the plains of Karbala. He could see his blessed flowers from his orchard and garden, one by one, falling in the defense and in the honor of Allah and the Rasul's deen and Islam. He could see the mistreatment, the abuse and the defilement towards the blessed, the pious and innocent souls of Sayyidah Fatimatu Zahra Salamullahi alayha's daughters and granddaughters on the plains of Karbala at the hands of the forces of Yazid and Ibn Ziyad. And this pained and grieved the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so much so that he was compelled to give prophecies in advance about the martyrdom of Imam Husayn, the events of Karbala. And therefore, we will not be establishing and studying it from the books of history, rather from the blessed mouth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.